Um, Perfect. We are now recording our meeting. At this time, I'm going to call us to order. Everyone who has just kind of come in toward the end, just want to welcome everyone to the July meeting of the 34th. Calling the meeting to order again. For those of you that are just joining, we did have a mini program tonight about the National Infrastructure Bank and HR 3339 during that first hour. I'll have this the recording of that presentation available on our YouTube channel, probably hopefully by the end of the weekend. Takes me a little bit of time to get it up there, but it will be up there by the weekend. And we'll put it up on our Facebook as well. We've got a lot on our agenda tonight, so I will go ahead and get started with our opening ceremonies. Rachel, would you like to go ahead and share our land acknowledgement?
Absolutely. Thanks, Carla. On behalf of the 34th LD Democrats, I acknowledge the land on which we stand today as the traditional home of the Coast Salish and Duwamish people, the traditional home of all tribes and bands within the Suquamish, Tulalip, Snoqualmie, and Muckleshoot nations. Without them, we would not have access to this gathering and to this dialogue. I ask that we take this opportunity to thank the original caretakers of this land who are still here.
Thank you, Rachel. All right, I will move on to our VIP acknowledgements. I went through the registered guests, so I hope I don't miss anyone here, but I'm going to go ahead and start with Representative Cody. I see Eileen. Would you like to say a few words?
I don't need to, but it's good to see. Well, I guess
we'd like to see you here, Eileen. Yeah. If nothing else. All right, thank you. Next, moving on to School Board Director Leslie Harris, who did not have a conflict tonight for the first time, at least in my tenure. So welcome, welcome, Leslie.
Could not be more pleased to be here. My school district cell phone is 206-475-1000. Email is leslie.harris@seattleschools.org. Lots going on. Happy to talk. I buy beers, wine, and meals. Thank you. Glad to be here.
Thank you, Leslie. And feel free to use the chat if you want to put your information in there if you haven't already.
Will do.
Thank you. Next up, King County Executive Dow Constantine. I see you out there. You want to say a few words? Executive Constantine, you with us? I can come back as well. I'm checking through and seeing who else is here. Okay. Last call for Executive Constantine, and then I'm going to go ahead and move on. Okay, well, we will be delighted to see him later on in the program then. All right, next up, Speak Up Survey. I have, well, first off, I will say that Sarah Koch, who actually helps us kind of in the background in our meetings, you can't imagine the production it is to put this on Zoom. Sarah called me about an hour before the meeting and was sick as a dog, so she's not with us tonight. So I'm going to have a really hard time getting any links in the chat. Probably won't see a whole lot of that, but I'm still going to shout out because there's lots of other ways that you can participate in the survey as well. And you've got it here on screen. This survey, I'm kind of cheating a little bit. I am going to use this to kind of take the pulse on those of you who want to come or plan to come to our picnic in September. So the question, the question for this month is going to be: do you plan to attend our reunion picnic on September 18th? And if so, are you planning to bring anyone with you, and any kind of eating, if you're vegetarian, or any sort of allergies and things like that? trying to take a pulse on it so that we can order food that is not too much or too little, because we are going to be treating the district and those who attend to some awesome barbecue at that picnic. So if you can fill that out, that would be great. And when I have the ability to, I will get that link into the chat. And as always, you can tell me anything you want, give me feedback on the meeting as well. And thank you for speaking up. All right, we're going to move on to our agenda. Oh, sorry, my bad. We're going to move on to our Zoom tips. Closed captioning, we've got that back moving this evening. It should be available to you down in the bottom bar of your menu if you need closed captioning. We, as always, want you to stay on mute unless you have been recognized to speak. When you are not muted, or excuse me, when you're muted, you'll see a little red slash over the top of your mute, over the top of your microphone in the bottom bar, and also in the participants menu. Raising your hand, we are going to be doing that tonight for making motions. If you want to make a motion, please raise your hand, and I'll be looking at the participant screen to figure out who to choose to make those motions at that time. Do try to remember to pull your hand back down when you're done so that I don't have to call you on you again. If you don't, I've got someone that's going to help me work on that as well. Again, in the chat, I had planned on disabling the chat, but when we got down to where we just have almost a normal meeting, I wanted to keep it up because it is helpful for links for folks to be able to ask questions and that sort of thing. So the chat is there for you. If you have a voting issue during the endorsements, please chat directly with co-host Dawn Rains. She has renamed herself. She will be at the top of your participants list, and her name is Help Text this evening. So go to Dawn if you have a question, and we'll review this again in a moment when we go into voting, but she will also be collecting text votes for anyone who is not able to use their device to vote tonight. All right, now we are at our agenda. You can see on the screen proposed agenda for this evening. I did swap the order of two of the items just due to the specifics of what we're doing toward the end of the meeting, but this is the agenda that was sent out in the call. Is there any discussion on the agenda? Okay. Hearing none, would someone unmute and make a motion to adopt the agenda?
This is Leah Griffin. I make a movement to adopt the agenda.
Thank you, Leah.
Rachel, I second.
Thank you. Thank you for shouting out your names too. That's really helpful for Sarah. Appreciate it. All right, so we've got an motion from Leah, seconded by Rachel. All those in favor, say aye.
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 Thank you.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, say nay. All right, the agenda is adopted. Moving on to our minutes. Just a reminder, I do send out both a budget report and our minutes every Sunday before the meeting. So if you are really into accuracy, you'll want to check your email on Sunday and take a look at those at that time. The screen is showing our minutes. There are 3 pages. Thanks again to Sarah, who did a fantastic job keeping our minutes in the endorsement circus last month. It was a long meeting and lots to say, lots we got accomplished. So thank you, Sarah. On our minutes, are there any, is there any discussion on the minutes? Okay, no discussion. Can I get a motion for approval?
So
Make a
moved,
motion.
Robert Williams.
Thank you, Robert Williams. A second, please.
This is Tamsin. I
Rains, I
second
second.
it.
I hear Tamsin Spangler, I believe.
Yes, I
Sounds good.
second it.
Thank you. All those in favor say aye.
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 Anyone opposed, say nay, please. All right, we have approved minutes. Thank you. Moving on to the treasurer's report. Julie, our treasurer, will present our monthly treasurer's report in very quick form. Again, it was sent out in full detail on Sunday. Julie, do you have a moment to unmute and give the report?
Yes, welcome everyone. Our beginning balance was $41,582.67. Our income from membership and Change Makes Sense was $2,298. Our expenses were $2,741.52. So our month ending balance is $41,139.15. And we have 549 members.
Come
Good
on,
job,
let's get to
everyone.
550. I want that 550. All right.
Good
great.
job. Good job.
Thank you, Julie. Are there any questions on the treasurer's report for July?
Yeah, I thought, this is Robert, I thought it should be like 14 cents, not 15 cents. I'm just kidding.
Not
All right,
funny.
comedy in the background there. All right. Okay, any other questions? Okay, there being none, we will file this for audit. I just want to call out quickly though, our current membership number is 549. It's an amazing number. A special thank you to all of our members who give a monthly donation. One of the cool things you'll realize if you look at these numbers is that we're really not burning money every month. We're taking in enough to cover our monthly expenses, which is great, which means we get to spend our money on candidate materials, candidate donations, to do all these things that we're here to do. We're not administrative costs aren't eating up our budget. So that's a really good thing. And I will attribute that to, in big form, our recurring donors. When you join, you can join with a single payment, or you can pay a little bit every month, $5, $10, $15, whatever it is every month. And then that is how we're keeping in that good shape financially. So it's all good stuff. Thank you to those members and all of our members. All right, just a few quick announcements and dates for upcoming things before we get started with our endorsements. Excited to announce that we now have a volunteer coordinator representing our organization, Zach Ramos, a union member who was introduced to me by member Max Vekich, the all-star Max, who is going to be moving to Washington soon. Zach has raised his hand for this role. I've always wondered why we didn't have a volunteer coordinator, and now that we're getting ready to go start doing some in-person stuff, some activities, we really could use this support. So thanks to Zach for taking this on and helping us organize the data. Anyone that as you joined, you went through that form and you checked off some of those boxes that you'd volunteer, you are going to start hearing from us. Please do respond to that communication, because we want to know how you'd like to help, and we'd like to give you something to do. So again, thanks to Zach, and thanks to all of you who are willing to volunteer as well. You may have also noticed in the newsletter that we're going to be holding an election for the recently vacated King County Dems alternate role on our executive board. Anyone interested in that role should contact me to learn more about it, and then be prepared in August for nomination, for that position. We do have one person who is considering and most likely going to go forward, but obviously it is an election. So if anyone else is interested, please let me know. We have a couple of really cool programs coming up. Thank you to Rachel Glass, who's our programs queen. We have on July 27th, 7 o'clock, King County Council candidate Uba Gardier will present a really compelling program on redlining. I saw this presentation as a urban league in an urban league program, and it was incredibly informative. Definitely make time to listen in on that, again on a Zoom. It is a Tuesday night, I believe, and again 7 o'clock. August 17th at 7 next month, we'll host an educational program about redistricting. This is a hugely impactful process for our state, for the country. Allison McCaffrey from the League of Women Voters will be present for this, and I have seen this program as well at another LD, and you will come away understanding the process. I mean, I didn't totally get it myself, and that's okay. That's why we have this. That's why we try to educate. You'll be able to walk away also with learning how to advocate around redistricting. So take time for that one as well. Again, August 17th. Both of these events are, oh, sorry about that. Both of these events are totally open to the public. Invite your friends, invite your neighbors, push it out there to other organizations that you know of. We have a Facebook event that you can easily share. And of course, we have our website as well. And both of those events are on our homepage, super easy to find. All right, we have finalized our plans for the reunion picnic on Saturday, September 18th, as I mentioned. This will be potluck with us providing barbecue and drinks, and it will be held at Lincoln Park, shelter number 3, from 4 to sunset. And we'll release more details next month, but it should be really fun, a nice laid back community event. We're not going to do candidate speeches. We're going to make it really casual, allow the candidates to come in and talk one-to-one. And we're really excited to get back in person. So mark your calendar for September 18th as well. We've gotten a request for any yard signs you might have and no longer need. Obviously, the ones for this year you need to keep until November, but any from past years that you just couldn't bear to throw away into the landfill, we'd love to have those. We're upcycling them. Another campaign, Whole Washington, is actually trying to collect them and reuse them, which is a good environmental thing to do. So the suggestion there is you can let me know if you have any. I'm happy to find somebody to come and get them. But a very easy way to drop them off is we are having 2 big events this weekend. Nick's going to talk a little bit more about it, but you can drop off those signs at either CMP Coffee or Burien Press on Saturday. And again, more info on that later. Last announcement is really just an encouragement to all of you. Carve out some time to help us get the vote out. The upcoming primary, August 3rd, we've got a couple of weeks. Chair Nick Bonaza is going to come on and give a whole lot more information about it, but it's just a plea from me. We particularly need support in Burien. The conservative groups down there are very, very well organized. They're already up to lots of tricks, and we've got to get the word out and preserve those seats. I do not want during my term as chair for us to lose Burien seats to Republicans. That would be a disaster. So please, please, even if it's just one shift, do something. Thank you. All right, moving along. Now we can get started with our, getting into our endorsements. I am going to go ahead and remind you on a few things. I'm sure a lot of you were here last month, but just want to go through some of the highlights first really quick. Problems with voting. We do have our external vote manager system still in place like last month. If you're 2 people sitting in front of a single computer and only one can vote, that's fine. Let someone vote, and then the other person text their vote in to Dawn at this number. If you have questions about anything voting oriented, Dawn is there available also in the chat, help text, and her phone number right there at the top. She's one of our co-hosts, so she'll always be at the top. Okay. Process. Please, again, this is members only and PCOs. We had deadlines for membership. You have to be a member for a month in order to vote. You must reside in the district. We do validate that member list, and we're not going to count your vote if you don't live in the district. So please, please only vote if you are eligible. Alternative voting method, talked about that a little bit already. Just a reminder of how this is going to go. I'm going to open the floor for motions to endorse for a single role, for a single position. Eligible voters will make a motion. Eligible voters will second. And then I will take all the motions for that particular position before we get into speeches. Once the nominations are closed, I will then ask the makers of the motions to give a speech for that endorsement. They can, if they wish, cede their time to the candidate or anyone, but you get 2 minutes for that speech. Then I will ask if there's anyone who wants to speak against the motion. If no one rises to speak against, we're done with that particular motion. And then we'll do the same process for all the candidates. When all the speeches are completed, then we vote. And again, we'll do it the same way we did last month. Just a reminder on the ballots, first ballot, if we do not have a candidate with 60%, we move on to the second ballot. Jordan will come in and kind of explain all this as we go. Second ballot will include the top 2 from the first ballot. And again, we may only have 2 candidates, and then a no endorsement would be the third thing. That no endorsement would then fall off that second ballot. And again, if we get into these situations, we will explain it as we go. If the second ballot also does not yield an endorsement of one of the 2 candidates, then the body has to decide whether we're going to vote to make a dual endorsement. It is not assumed. So we'll get a motion, then we'll do a third ballot. And that ballot will be for a yes/no vote of a dual endorsement. Yes or no on the dual endorsement. And then again, just a reminder, that requires 60% as well. Couple of tips to make a motion: raise your hand. Do realize I had someone make a comment last month that I was picking my friends to make the motions. That's not how it works. Candidates, before I have this meeting, I ask the candidates who they would prefer to have the motion made by. If they don't tell me someone, then I just pick someone randomly. It is truly random. But it goes to the candidate first. If the candidate wants a particular person to make the motion, that's how we do it. Okay. Each vote, just like last month, we will do 2 minutes. Ann Martin is going to time this evening, and she's going to share her screen for that 2-minute timer. Please watch your timer. When it changes color, the background, you know your time is out. Again, a reminder, motions for a dual endorsement or a sole endorsement are out of order, so don't bother. If you're speaking against a motion, this also was called out last month, and it's my fault, I did not pick up on this. If you're speaking against a motion to endorse candidate A, you can only talk about why you don't want to, or why you're not in favor of that. You cannot talk about candidate B in your against speech. Speeches for, totally different than a speech against. So I will do better this time and call that out. Okay, now let's do a quick practice. I think, Jordan, if you're ready, if you want to just do the practice vote.
Do you want the clock on?
No, we're going to do this real quick, Anne.
Okay, I just wanted to know.
Yeah, good call. And actually, and that does remind me, I am only going to give 2 minutes to vote. I think everybody realizes how fast it is now. So 2 minutes should do it. And if we get to that majority, we'll cut it off. But please vote quickly. It's on you to vote when it's time to vote. All right, we've got 34 people of 66 voting. And again, this is just a silly thing. Just wanted to get you back in the, back in the groove of doing these Zoom polls for our votes. Yes, we all want to gather with our friends. That's a biggie. It's funny how that one is 60. Gathering with friends is 64%. I think that's a clear winner. So you can go ahead and actually I can end this poll as well. Anybody have any questions before we get started? Okay. I think it's time. Let's roll then. I would like to hear, let me get my notes here. I would like to hear nominations for Port Commissioner position 1. If you can raise your hand in Zoom. And I got to get my participants window. All right. Okay, Bunny Hatcher, you have the floor.
Hi, yes, I would like to nominate Norman Sigler for Port Commissioner, position 1, and I would like to cede my time to the candidate.
Okay, thank you, Bunny. Norman.
Is it time for me to talk?
Yes, it is.
Nice. Hello, 34th.
Excuse me, Chair.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's no second on that. There's no second on that.
Need a second.
Oh, my fault.
Oh.
Thank you, Chris.
Rachel, I will second.
Thank you. All right, Bunny Hatcher has made a motion to endorse Norman Sigler for position 1, and Rachel Glass has seconded.
And you need to ask if there are additional nominations.
Yes, I'm sorry. You're absolutely right. I am not in my script very well here. Okay, perfect. All right, hold tight, Norman. Sorry about that. Are there any other nominations? Port Commission position 1. All right, Shauna Casey.
Do I speak now or do I just say the
Yes.
nomination? Okay.
No, you don't do your speech for yet. You just do the motion.
Got it. Okay. I would like to nominate Ryan Calkins for Port of Seattle Commissioner position 1.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Shauna. Is there a second? I need a second on Ryan Calkins, please.
I'll second to make it happen. Leslie Harris.
Thank you, Leslie. All right, Sarah, that is Shauna Causey. I believe I'm saying that right, with the motion to endorse Ryan Calkins and seconded by Leslie Harris.
Thank you.
All right. Any other motions? Okay. Well, nominations are now closed. I'm going to go first to Bunny. And since Bunny already let me know that she's ceding her time to Norman, I will ask Anne to go ahead and share your screen and put your timer up. Wait for the timer. All right, looks beautiful. All right, Norman, you now have the floor.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Hello, 34th Legislative District. I'm Norman Sigler. I'm an elected PCO for the 34th 1443 precinct, which is Genesee Hill. I go by pronouns he, him. I'm sitting in my fiance's home in Normandy Park right now, talking to you all. I ask for your endorsement vote tonight and support to become the next Port Commissioner in position number 1. I will bring strong experience in the aviation sector and in community engagement to the role. I am the owner and managing director of Clear Consulting.biz, a Seattle-based executive search firm with an office in Mobile, Alabama, specializing in delivering diverse talent solutions for organizations throughout the Northwest and beyond, with special focus on gender and racial equity. Our firm focuses on searches for senior level management in finance, accounting, and social sector jobs. A sample of searches I've worked on have been Chief Philanthropic Officer for Girl Scouts of Western Washington, Chief Information Officer for Home Street Bank, Director of Development for Tacoma Arts Live, Chief Financial Officer for Mary's Place, CFO for Seattle Art Museum, to name a few. Prior to my executive search experience, I worked in finance and marketing roles with Alaska Airlines, Blue Cross Blue Shield Association, the Ford Motor Company, Northwest Airlines, and Continental Airlines. These experiences helped me discover that in addition to my passion for helping companies succeed financially, I also wanted to help organizations find the right talent to fit within their organization's culture. I'm committed to community and education of young people through my volunteer works. I'm the King County Central Committee representative for the 34th. I'm also on the executive board of the 34th. I'm also head of the Healthcare Caucus chair for the 34th. I have an MBA in finance and accounting from the University of Michigan and a BS degree in natural science and mathematics from Washington and Lee University. I am humbly asking for your support in addition to the support you gave me in 2015 when I ran then. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Norman. All right, would any member or PCO like to speak against this motion to endorse Norman Sigler? Anyone interested in speaking against? Please raise your hand. And I just want to remind all the candidates that if we do not have a speaker against, there wouldn't be a second opportunity for a speech for. So if the candidates want to speak, you should probably make sure that you speak during the first speech. Okay. All right. No one looking to speak against, so I'm going to move over to Shauna. Shauna, would you like to speak on behalf of your motion?
I would like to say a few words.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. Hi, everybody. I'm Shauna. I've been a PCO on and off for the 34th for 12 years. I'm also the sister of the famous Zach, which is interesting for this phone call. And I've known Ryan for 10 years. And I can say personally, knowing him for that long, I've been able to see his character and his commitment. I think one of the things that we see sometimes is people are elected to these positions and then they just call it in. They get the recognition and they call it in. And what I've seen with Ryan is he does the work. He's on the ground. He's learning about the problems and the needs of the community. And I'm especially excited about his focus on renewable energy for the port, which I really have a heart for given what's happening with climate change. So I'd like to cede the rest of my time to Ryan, if that's possible, but wholeheartily support Ryan for the position.
Thank you, Shauna. Ryan, you have the balance of the time.
Yeah, wow, that I really appreciate an old friend speaking on my behalf at the 34th. I do think messages come across better when coming from other folks too. And as Shauna shared, for me, that my focus is on environmental justice and shared prosperity and equitable economic recovery as we proceed. I think that message is resonating with members in our community. I'm proud to have the endorsement of the Sierra Club, Washington Conservation Voters, SEIU 6775, firefighters, Teamsters, laborers, carpenters, Attorney General Bob Ferguson, Congress members Smith, Larson, and Jayapal, as well as dozens of other electeds and all 16 of the other LDs in King County. And I want to especially thank the state delegation from the 34th, Senator Wynn, Representatives Fitzgibbon and Cody, and of course, one of my favorites, County Council Member Joe McDermott, who's here tonight. I love this job. I'd love to get another 4 years in it. And so I sincerely ask for your vote for my endorsement. Thank you so much.
Perfect timing. Thank you. Is there anyone who would like to, any member or PCO who would like to speak against this motion to endorse Ryan Calkins? Anyone looking to speak against? Okay. Well, very good. Do either of the campaigns want to go into a breakout room where you could actually view the voting process, the tally process?
No,
Given them,
oh,
all right, cool.
Sure, I know.
Thank you.
As a non-voting guest here, I'm happy to go into a breakout room if that's easier.
Oh, it's not about taking you out of the room. It's more about, do you want to see the process?
That's all right. I can.
Thank you for the trust, Ryan. Okay, perfect. We're one man down on the backside, so that's helpful. Thank you. All right, Jordan, if you want to go ahead and launch the first vote. And Anne, you can go ahead and start the, oh, actually, you know what? Yes, so you see the little timer up in the top right-hand corner. We're getting 2 minutes there. We will close the poll in 2 minutes. And again, we're going with we're needing to go to a 60% threshold.
So what you're saying is you don't need my timer for that.
Correct, correct.
Okay.
Scooby, wake up. Sorry, my dog is dreaming and he's getting very loud. My apologies. Sorry. All right.
At least he's getting some sleep.
Because my cat's a jerk, so.
All right, we have 45 of 64 voting. And we're at about a minute. Scooby. Okay. Sorry. The joys of Zoom calls. All right, I see 49 of 64. All right, if the 49 does not go up for another couple seconds, I think we can go ahead and call it a night. Excuse me one moment. All right, we're up to 50. And we're at 2 minutes. We can go ahead and close the poll. Jordan, thank you. All right. Hopefully, given that we're not trying to sort through 300 and some votes, this should go fairly quickly. Jordan, can you unmute and let me know if you guys would feel comfortable if we continue to proceed, or should we hold off? Based on what I'm seeing, I think we're probably going, we probably should wait.
If I get backed up after this
one.
Okay. Carla, Trey said, for this one, we might as well just try to go ahead and we'll see how our pacing goes on this one.
Okay, sounds good. All right, well, we'll let the guys do their thing in the background there, and we will move on. Got to move on to my script here. Okay, next we want to move along to hear nominations for Port Commissioner position 2. I would like to, I see Leah already right on the money. Leah, what do you got?
I would like to enthusiastically move that we endorse my dear friend Hamdi Mohammed.
Thank you, Leah. Is there a second?
Second, Nick Bonazza.
Thank you, Nick. Leah Griffin has nominated Hamdi Mohammed, and Nick Banaza has seconded. Thank you. Are there any other motions from the floor for Port Commissioner position 3?
I'm sorry, Madam Chair, I thought you said 2. I would happily move endorsement of Stephanie Bowman. This is Joe McDermott.
All right, thank you, Joe.
Leslie Harris seconds.
Thank you,
Kim
Leslie.
Backlund, second.
Awesome. All right, Sarah, that was Joe McDermott and Leslie Harris nominating Stephanie Bowman. Are there any other motions from the floor? Okay, the nominations are now closed. Let's go back to Leah. And Leah, would you like to speak to your motion?
I would like to yield my time to the candidate.
Thank you. And we have our timer. Thank you, Anne. Okay, Hamdi, whenever you're ready.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Good evening, members of the 34th LD. It is an honor to be here. The 34th LD is like my second home. I went to Chief Sealth High School. I did Running Start at South Seattle Community College. I worked for U.S. Congresswoman Jayapal as her Deputy District Director, and I lived in Burien as well. So I'm proud of my roots in the 34th LD, and it is truly an honor to ask for your sole endorsement tonight for my candidacy for the Port of Seattle Commission Position 3. In the past few months, we have earned the sole endorsement of so many of our local unions, which in total make up over 100 members from all walks of life. The sole endorsements from the Washington Conservation Voters, Fuse Washington, over 50 elected officials, including U.S. Congresswoman Jayapal, Attorney General Bob Ferguson, our King County Executive Dow Constantine, and so many more. We've also earned the sole endorsement of every single LD we've met with thus far. Folks are truly ready for a regional leader that will make the Port of Seattle's numerous operations more accessible and more transparent. I decided to run for the Port of Seattle Commission due to the lack of regional representation. The port's operations significantly impact cities in South King County, and currently none of our port commissioners live in that area. Our communities are hit the hardest when it comes to environmental and economic decisions made by the port. Second, I want to be able to bring my expertise in equitable economic development and job creation to the Port of Seattle in such a critical time for economic recovery. Today, I advise on the county's $12 billion budget. I've managed millions of COVID-19 response funds that went directly to our community-based organization. I helped bring 14,000 pounds of essential supplies that went directly to our community-based organizations and frontline workers at no cost to King County government or to those organizations. I will bring my lived experience and work experience to the Port of Seattle in such a critical time for economic recovery. And I can promise you that you will not only see me during election season, but year round. It would be an honor to have your support tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, right on time, very good. Would any member or PCO like to speak against the motion to endorse Hamdi Mohammed? Anyone want to speak against? Okay, I see no one. Going once, going twice. All right, we'll move over to Stephanie. I'm sorry, I've lost my.
Madam Chair, this is Joe McDermott. I made the motion.
Oh, thank you. I'm looking at another name going, that is not who did it. Okay, Joe, you're on. Would you like to cede your time or would you like to speak?
I'll speak briefly and then cede my time.
Okay,
Joe McDermott, I'm proud to ask the 34th to join me in voting to endorse Stephanie Bowman. Stephanie's committed to making sure that the economic success and implements of the port reach all communities throughout King County. And in fact, led efforts to create the Seaport Alliance with the Port of Tacoma to end unhealthy competition and to increase trade and jobs within our region. Further, I've worked personally with Stephanie on light rail alignment as part of the elected leaders on the West Ilda Ballard alignment, and know of her commitment to economic development through her work at the port and also enhancing West Seattle in the 34th District. I'm proud to turn my time over to Stephanie.
Great. Thank you, council member, and thank you, members of the 34th district. You all know the importance of the port better than any other legislative district. It's right in your backyard, and you understand that it's the region's economic backbone, supporting thousands of quality family wage jobs. As a port commissioner, I believe it's our responsibility to ensure that opportunity exists for all of our residents in our communities who live and work here. As your port commissioner, I've led on issues of environmental justice, cleaning up the Duwamish, improving air quality by making sure we're installing shore power at our marine terminals right below West Seattle, upgrading stormwater to protect the sound. I've led on issues of equity, creating historic new opportunities for women and BIPOC people, creating a nationally recognized internship program for underserved youth throughout King County, and opening the very first tiny house village on port property, the only one in the state of Washington on port property, to help our unsheltered neighbors. I've poured my heart and soul into serving on the Port Commission. This job is not a stepping stone for me. I'm proud of the work that I've done, and I would be honored to have your endorsement. I would love it if you would join Governors Locke, Gregoire, Dow, Councilmember McDermott, and dozens of others in supporting my reelection. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Would any member of PCO like to speak against the motion to endorse Stephanie Bowman? Leah, is your hand up for that reason?
It is.
Okay. Go right ahead.
Hi, there are just a couple of things in Ms. Bowman's voting record that concern me as a member of the 34th. I know in this LD that we care a lot about the environment, and I know that we care a lot about labor and working people. And as a port commissioner, I was very disappointed in her vote in 2015 to allow Shell Oil to base its Arctic drilling operations in Seattle. And then not only did she oppose the $15 minimum wage, but she also voted to use taxpayer money to fight that $15 minimum wage in court, which I think is just antithetical to our mission here in the 34th. So I would urge that she has not earned our endorsement here in the 34th.
Okay, thank you, Leah. Would anyone like to speak for the motion to endorse? I'm going to start with Leslie Harris.
Thank you, Madam Chair. As a member of the Seattle Public School Board for the last 5 years, I can tell you that intergovernmental relations are fraught at the very best. I can tell you that Port Commissioner Bowman has very, very much partnered with the well-broke Seattle Public Schools for career and technical education, and she has leveraged funds from private industry and was a huge supporter of the Alternative Maritime High School. And that is not a unique thing amongst local elected officials of all manner of other governmental entities. And I hugely appreciate her advocacy, and I well appreciate her opponent and the comments made therefore, but she is walking the talk and has delivered results. Thank you so very much.
Thank you, Director Harris. All right, I believe that is it for speeches. Commissioner Bowman and Ms. Mohammed, would you like to go into the breakout room to watch the tally?
34th LD, I trust you guys and I will not go in that queue. Thank you.
No need. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it. Okay.
I think you missed, there's an opportunity for one speaker against.
Oh, you're right, Ann. A second.
Sorry, I had to go off the timer and I couldn't get there fast enough.
No, you're totally good. And Nick, is that why you have your hand up?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. In addition to what has been said by Leah Griffin, on January 26, 2021, Stephanie Bowman voted against the leasing of the Duwamish Valley Community Resource Center for Community Workforce Development Center. She was the only commissioner to vote no. In addition to that, she advocated investing $1.5 million into the tourism and advertising industry during the COVID pandemic, when that funding could have gone toward economic relief. She created the ad hoc committee on tourism instead of a COVID-19 equitable recovery committee. There are rideshare drivers and truck drivers who don't have access to restrooms or adequate testing working at the port, and Bowman's priorities are not centered in supporting workers. Thank you.
Thank you, Nick. Okay, now we're at the end of speeches. Jordan, would you launch the first ballot for position 3, please?
While that one is up, we will be going to a second ballot for the first vote for the Port of Seattle position 1. Sorry, just 1 second. So with 20 votes, Norman Sigler had 40%. With 26, Ryan Calkins had 52%. And with 4 votes, no endorsement had 8%. So no one hit the 60% threshold. The second ballot is prepared and in the queue. So as soon as this first ballot for position 3 is finished, we'll move forward with that second ballot for position.
Excellent. Thank you. And I think just based on the speed at which this is going, we can probably cut us, unless anyone has is against it, I'd like to cut us down to 90 seconds on the ballots. The last 30 seconds definitely seems to be nothing. So we've got 42 of 64 votes in, 65%. So anyone who has not voted yet for position 3, please do so now.
Carla, did you mean position 2?
Nope. 1, 3, and 4 are the positions that are up this year. One would think, though, I could see why you might think that. All right, 48 of 65. Let's call it a day. All right, so voting is closed for position 3. And Jordan, were you actually for real saying that you have the second one ready to go for position 1? Just a reminder.
Yes, I'm just getting those results over to Trey quickly and then I'll be back.
Okay. A reminder too to everyone, we publish, or actually I should say Jordan publishes a tally report, usually the day or so after, when things calm down after the night of. We publish that and put that on our website. It's also linked in our minutes. So if anybody needs to see the actual values of all these votes, or last month as well, they will be available to you in all due transparency.
Okay, the second poll for position 1
But I do have 2 manual votes.
is going to come up right about
Trey,
now.
Trey, you need to mute. Okay. Again, this is the second vote for position 1. Please vote now. Let's try to do it in 90 seconds. Again, we're going for 60%. 46 of 65 in. 70% has voted. Anyone else planning to vote? About 30 more seconds. 47, 48. All right, and I'm just going to remind, if this ballot does not come away 60% or higher, someone will need to make a motion. If you decide to do this, someone will need to make a motion to do a ballot, a third ballot for a dual endorsement. So again, if that is what you all want to do, I will need a motion for that in a second. All right, poll is closed.
And we have results for the position 3 ballot with 38 votes or 76%. Hamdi Mohammed has been endorsed. Stephanie Bowman had 12 votes or 24%, and no one voted for no endorsement.
All right, that is a definitive vote. Congratulations, Hamdi. All right, 1 down, 2 to go. All right, our Jordan and Trey, are you guys okay with me proceeding with our third and final endorsement?
Yep, he's processing the results for that second ballot now, so those should be done shortly.
Okay, fantastic. All right, I'm ready to entertain nominations for Port Commissioner position 4. Please raise your Zoom hand. All right. I'm going to start with BJ. Would you like to unmute yourself and make your motion?
Yeah, I am moving to support the Peter Steinbrook for position number 4, and that's great.
That's you're going to make your you're making the motion, okay?
Yeah.
And that Sarah is BJ BULLERT.
Correct.
Bullard.
Thank
Yes?
you.
Okay. And is there a second? I need a second for the motion to endorse Peter Steinbrook.
This is Cody, I'll second.
Thank you, Eileen. Eileen Cody has seconded. Are there any other motions from the floor for Port Commissioner position 4? I'm looking at, I believe, Nicole.
Hi, yes. I move to endorse Toshiko Hasagawa.
Thank you. Nicole Lutomski.
Lutomski, yes.
So far away. I've said that wrong in my head like 15 times. Sorry about that.
Okay.
Sarah, that is Lutomski.
Thank you.
Second the motion, Leslie Harris.
Leslie Harris has seconded. So we have a motion to endorse Toshiko Hasagawa and Peter Steinbrook. Are there any other motions from the floor? Any other motions? All right, motions are now, or excuse me, nominations are now closed. I'm going to start, go back to BJ. BJ, would you like to speak on behalf of your motion, or you can cede your time over to the candidate?
I'd like to speak to the motion and then cede a little time.
Okay.
Okay.
Go right ahead.
Well, I'm from West Seattle, and I'm a filmmaker, and I'm a professor at Antioch University. But I support Peter Steinbrook for position number 4 for his reelection, because he's already done a lot of really good work that I think we need to acknowledge and recognize for his ability to work effectively in this political system that we live in. He's been leading the effort for diversity at the port by tripling the participation of women and minority and disadvantaged small businesses. He's really prioritized that. He's also has a demonstrated track record in working for environmental and economic justice, particularly when it comes to things like, you know, those airplanes that fly over Beacon Hill and around SeaTac. I mean, the loud noises that have that it just really wreaks havoc on people's lives. Well, he was leading the effort to make sure that that kind of noise is cut down and addressed and taken care of. And he's been very active in that. I know him because of the work that I've done on Fisherman's Terminal, where he has always stood shoulder to shoulder with fishermen and with people in the maritime industry. Moreover, I think the thing that's most important about Peter is that he keeps the Port of Seattle accountable to the citizens of King County. And he's that kind of guy. He's got a track record, he's got experience in politics, and he's a very effective practitioner of civic art. So let me then cede the rest of the time to Peter.
Peter, unfortunately, you have very little left to go.
Oh, shoot. I'm sorry. I'm Peter Steinbruck. I'm running for re-election in my first term. I come from 4 generations of working class people and labor activism and civic activism, getting my civic roots at the Pike Place Market battle in the 60s. I've never served in office to preserve the status quo. I'm leading progressive change at the port. Now is not the time to shift gears and switch to another track. We have thousands of jobs at stake. We have a great transition plan. Am I over time here?
Yeah, you're 20 seconds over. I'm gonna have to cut you off.
Well, thank you. I won't take more of the time, but thank you. I'd love to have your endorsement tonight, 34th District.
Thank you. All right. Would anyone like to speak against the motion to endorse Peter Steinbruck? Any motions again? I mean, any speakers against? Please raise your hand. Okay. I see no one. So speeches are now closed on that motion. Moving over to Nicole, are you back with us? I think I saw you fall off and come back on. Are you still with us? Okay, great.
I'm still here. I would like to cede my time to the candidate.
Okay. Toshiko, you may go right ahead.
Well, good evening, everyone. My name is Toshiko Hasegawa, and we've toured and won the endorsement of 16 out of 17 LDs thus far, but I'm so excited to bring it home to the 34th, where I went to middle school, Go Madison Bulldogs, and I lived for 6 years in my 20s. I would be so honored to earn your support. I'm a 4th generation Japanese American from Beacon Hill, and I have seen firsthand how the port impacts our communities. And as the director of a state agency and the youngest woman of color ever to serve as a member of the governor's cabinet, I saw how once again, when crisis struck, communities were hit hardest. The equity gap has deepened. The port is still one of the top polluters of carbon emissions in the state. And I worry as a mother that my daughter won't have opportunities the way we did before, and our elders did before us. We're feeling the impacts of climate change now, not in 2050, and more of the same just isn't gonna cut it anymore. And the port has a huge role to play in answering to these compounding crises of our time. And I grew up in ground zero of the labor movement, and I know that economic empowerment leads to social justice for our communities. I know that healthy ecosystems are gonna lead to healthy community members. But that equity is more than a one-time investment. It is a lens that we must apply to everything that we do. We deserve a voice on the policies that impact us. And the urgency of now requires new leadership with a bold vision of our future. And I'm proud to have the endorsement of the King County Dems, the Young Dems, the Stonewall Dems, the Washington Conservation Voters, the MLK Labor Council, Congresswoman Pramila Jayapal and Adam Smith, State Treasurer Mike Pellicciati, but above all, again, I would just be so honored to have your support and understanding that we truly need a new direction in order to deviate from the status quo, which is no longer going to be good enough. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Would any member or PCO like to speak against the motion to endorse Toshiko Sasagawa?
I can't deal with it here.
Someone needs to go on mute. Okay. Anyone want to speak against? All right, speeches are closed. Jordan, are you ready? Oh, I'm sorry. Commissioner Steinbruck or Ms. Hasagawa, would you like to go and watch the tally? Anyone want to see the sausage being made in the background? Okay, yeah, fabulous. Thank you. Jordan, are you ready to launch the third and final ballot for Commissioner number 4, position 4?
I have the first ballot ready for this position, and then I get to launch that. And then we will have the same routine for the position 1 vote. On the second ballot, Norman Sigler had 22 votes, or 44%, and Ryan Calkins had 28 votes, or 56%. So neither candidate hit the 60% threshold. What this means procedural wise is if any member would like to make a motion for dual endorsement and another member would like to second it, then we can debate that issue. And then once debate closes, if the motion passes, we can launch a poll for dual endorsement. If it fails, then we endorse no one.
All right, would anyone like to make a motion? I see one hand up, 2 hands up. Nick, were you raising your hand for the purpose of the dual endorsement motion?
Yes, I'd like to propose a dual endorsement for both of these candidates.
Okay, thank you, Nick. Is there a second?
I raise my hand to second.
Okay, Ann Martin second, and Nick Bonaza has made a motion for dual endorsement. Do we need to do speeches for and against dual endorsement? I'm sorry. Yeah, I think I'm, now that I'm remembering this, I think we did.
Yeah, you call for it, but we don't have to speak.
Would either of you like to speak, Nick or Ann, about the motion for dual endorsement?
Ann, would you like to do that?
I can say that we have 2 good Democrats who obviously are supported in our district, and I think that a dual endorsement would show that we approve of the policies put forward by each of these candidates.
Thank you. Anyone want to speak against the motion to dual endorse for position 1? Anyone speaking against? Okay. Prepare the ballot. All right, so we have closed the poll for position 4. And we will get the.
Do you want me to go ahead and launch the poll? It's ready to go.
Ready? Yeah, I
Yeah.
think you can go ahead. This is again a motion based on the motion for dual endorsement, a yes or no vote for dual endorsement. Yes for dual endorsement or no against dual endorsement. Boy, you guys are getting fast. Great. Let's let this go to a minute and then we'll close it down. And then Jordan, whenever you're ready, we'll have position 4 results. Might be too early. See if there's anything I can do while we're waiting. All I can say is it's so much easier with 80 people than it was last month. Oh my gosh. I think we can wait to do this. I'm going to go ahead because we need to wait for a little bit to get some tallies handled. I'm going to go ahead and jump ahead in our, hopefully this won't get too confusing. I don't think it will, but go ahead and, you know, go into the next piece on the agenda because we are at the end of the endorsements portion of the agenda. And I'm going to ask, this is kind of bringing back our candidate spotlight. Often forgotten are the down ballot races. One of the biggest jobs of PCOs is to make sure that you tell your neighbors to vote their entire ballot. As we head toward November, I'm hoping that we have lots of these candidates visit us and help us, get educated on who they are and why we should vote for them. This month, we have Jennifer Fashamba, a candidate for Highland Park School Board, Highline School Board. Jennifer, if you're ready, I'd like to go ahead and get you to tell us a little bit about yourself and help us get to know you.
Great, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to speak to you all this evening. I am a longtime Burien resident. However, I'm on the 33rd side of Burien. And I'm also a longtime educator. I worked in education for 18 years. And part of the reason why I'm running for school board is because I believe that educators should sit on school boards because they are probably the ones best knowledgeable on the decisions that need to be made on behalf of our students and our families. I currently work in the Tukwila School District as a Gear Up specialist, helping students as they access their post-high school careers and making decisions around that. I did work in the Highline School District for a good part of my career. I worked at the Evergreen campus in White Center. I was as a college and career counselor. And then I also worked at Chinook Middle School in SeaTac, working with kids with special needs. I am also a product of the Highline School District. And my son just recently graduated from Highline High School in the Highline School District. I also have been the vice president of my local, the Tukwila Education Association, representing educational support professionals, where I had the opportunity to sit in on labor management meetings. And so I did all of that to prepare myself to run for school board because I felt it was really important to understand how the district side of things worked as well as inside the school buildings. The reason that I'm running for school board is three pillars, basically. I'm running because I believe as a board director, we must center the voices of our students and our families in the decisions that we make. Without them, we don't have jobs. And I feel far too often school boards don't center their voices. They make decisions for students without considering what the students actually need. I also believe that we need to be centering the voices of our educators because they're in the school buildings, they're on the front lines, and they see exactly what the needs are for the students and for the families. And finally, I believe it's really important that we partner with our local municipalities, and in this case would be White Center, Burien, Normandy Park, SeaTac, and Des Moines, in order to create bridges of resources, because we cannot just be siloed over here. We need to be working together to make sure that we're meeting the needs of our young people and their families, because there is a lot of needs in our communities, specifically in South King County. And these are all the reasons why I'm running for school board. I'm happy to take any questions that you may have. Again, my name is Jennifer Fashamba, and I'm running for Highline School Board Director 2.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much. And we're planning, I asked Jennifer and she was cool with it. I wanted to give her an opportunity to talk to us this month and then come back next month where we'll, hear any nominations for endorsement on her behalf. All right, great. I don't see any questions so far. Jennifer, if you haven't already, throw your contact information, your website, whatever you want to put in there in the chat for our folks. And thanks again for coming to see us. All right. If you know anyone who's running for one of the other races this cycle, please have them contact me so that I can include them on a future agenda and make sure that we kind of are prepared and we've done our due diligence on the candidate before they want to come in for endorsement purposes. Thank you for that. Great.
Results, Carla.
Perfect, Jordan.
Okay, so we'll go back in order. So for position 1 for the dual endorsement vote, we have made a dual endorsement of both Norman Sigler and Ryan Calkins. There's 45 to 12, 45 votes to 12 votes. And for position 4, Toshiko Hasegawa has been endorsed with 37 votes or 68.5%. Peter Steinbrück had 16 votes or 29.6%, and only 1 vote for no endorsement at 1.9%.
Okay, thank you, Jordan. And congratulations. All right, so Jordan, do we have, did you have 2 sets of results or just 1?
That was 2. So we had the dual endorsed Norman and Ryan.
Perfect.
And sole endorsement for
Toshiko. All right. Very good. Well, that wraps up the endorsements for this month. And again, I'd like to be prepared so I can put it on the agenda. If there are others coming in that want to be considered for endorsement, please have them reach out to me first. And we will look into do that in the coming months leading up to the election. All right, moving right along. Thank you, Trey and Jordan, for our tally duties. I'm going to move into, excuse me, I'm going to yield the floor to PCO Chair Nick Bonaza, and I'm going to share my screen again. Nick's going to bring us a report from the PCO side of the house, also a PCO for appointment, and he's going to tell you a little bit about some things coming up.
Yes, thank you. I'm going to start off with my appointment for PCO. I have the honor of presenting a prospective precinct committee officer for vote. Please welcome member Michelle Fricks Dassel as she joins us in this important job of getting out the vote. Michelle, are you present?
Yes, I am.
Okay, great. Thank you. I'll read the oath and ask you to affirm at the end that you are a Democrat, of course. Okay. Are you willing to serve as a precinct committee officer until December 1st, 2022? Do you recognize that it's your responsibility to know the boundaries of your precinct and be familiar with the residents and registered voters? Understand that your duties also include providing voters with campaign material for endorsed candidates prior to each primary and general election, get out the vote activities, and new voter registration. Michelle, excuse me, before the motion to appoint, please answer, are you a Democrat?
Yes, I am.
Okay, Madam Chair, may I have a motion to appoint Michelle as PCO for Seattle 34-1545?
Anne, could you make the motion?
Yes, I heartily motion that she be approved as a PCO.
Thank you. And who was that?
McDermott.
Thank you, McDermott. Joe McDermott seconded. All those in favor, please unmute and say hi. Aye.
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 Some of you getting creative with your eyes. Anyone opposed, say nay. All right. Congratulations. And Michelle, thank you for stepping up. We need you and we need more of you. We were just talking the other day about how we only have half of Burien covered in PCO. So we've got to figure out how to get out to the rest of Burien. The more PCOs, the better. So recruit your friends and family and try to get them to come to the table. We need them.
Will do. Thanks for your support. Proud to be here. Thank you so much.
Great, great.
Awesome.
So also let's, I'll continue into what's ahead. I have a few updates for the PCOs and volunteers coming up here. PCOs, we've sent out all the your voters to canvass for the August primary. And in addition to that, we'll be having the traditional 34th sample ballots ready for you possibly Friday, but for sure they will be at CMP Coffee and also at the Burien Press in Burien. On Saturday, July 17th, the 34th Democrats and candidates will meet at CMP Coffee at 5612 California Avenue Southwest between 10:30 a.m. and 11 a.m. And at the Burien Press, 423 Southwest 152nd Street, right across the street from the library and City Hall, from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. PCOs can pick up their ballots during and after the event at those two locations. And there'll be other designated locations, which I will reach out. I will send an email off to you with other locations throughout the 34th. If you can't make either of these events, and if you're a volunteer also too, contact me and we could slip you into an open precinct, which we have a few. I'd like to briefly share little guidance on down the vote ballots. A lot of times voters look at the top of the ballot. They don't look all the way down the ballot, but there's some really important, of course, candidates down the ballot, but also I'd like to put a word in for Executive Constantine's proposal for the renew of Best Starts for Kids. That's really important. It's going to be on the August primary, and we have to acknowledge that to our voters, both in Burien, White Center, Vashon Island, and West Seattle. Also, PCOs, please come to these two events this coming Saturday, the 17th. I've appointed PCOs in the last 2 years now, and I've only met them this way through Zoom. There's better ways of meeting people and training folks or whatever. Come out, talk to us, talk to your fellow PCOs, introduce yourself before you get out to get out the vote for this important August primary, and be there. It's only going to be an hour, and we'll have minivan instruction. And if you need a ballot because you don't have a printer, let me know. I'll have that, not a ballot, but your precinct list. I'll have that for you, waiting for you at those two coffee shops. So please come out. Candidates will be there. Have coffee. Talk to your fellow PCOs. Meet the volunteers. Come on out. And that's it. That's all I got to say. See you Saturday.
Thanks. And I'm particularly excited about our walk piece, sample ballot, whatever we want to call them. They are door hangers, so you can hang them on the door if you don't get to talk to someone. The thing that I'm most excited about really is the fact that we have Spanish on the back for the Burien version. We did a specific Burien version of our our piece that only has the Burien races and has Spanish on the back. The candidates were really excited about that. So come get your pieces and let's get out there and make a plan to get your precinct done. And please, if you're not a PCO, please consider taking a shift. Super, super important. We've got a lot of ground to cover, and we really want to have nice high voter participation this year. Thank you, Nick. All right, we have 2 resolutions tonight. Bunny, I'm going to hand it off to you to talk first about our filibuster resolution.
Oh, great, thanks. We have in front of us a resolution to support eliminating the Senate filibuster. And if you've been watching the news at all, you've seen that this is going to be about the only way that we can prevent Republicans from blocking, from achieving Mitch McConnell's goal of blocking every bit of progress attempted by Biden. And so tonight we're being asked to pass this resolution in support of eliminating the Senate filibuster. And it's, you know, it's fairly long, but it's pretty easy to understand. And it's asked that we support it and that we ask our senators, Cantwell and Murray, to make a statement of support, and that this resolution be submitted to them, as well as to our U.S. Senate Majority Leader, Chuck Schumer, and our local elected officials. At this point, I'd like to have it explained better to you by Camille Gix, who should be here, I hope, by now.
He's
Camille,
here.
are you here? To speak
Hi,
in
yes.
favor of passing this?
I am here. Thank you, Bunny. Hi, everyone. My name is Camille. I am with the 43rd District Democrats. I'm the policy chair. So we wrote this resolution a few months back to, yeah, like it says, to eliminate the Senate filibuster. For folks that don't know, the history of the filibuster is problematic from its conception and still problematic. It was used heavily during the Jim Crow era to block anti-lynching legislation, and it has been used in recent years to block any legislation from the Democratic side. Just a few weeks ago, it was used to block S1, the For the People Act, and we anticipate that it will continue to be used to block the dozens of important pieces of legislation that have passed through the House in the past few months, and pretty much halt any sort of progress that could be made during this time of having the Senate, the House, and the presidency on the side of the Democrats. Since we passed the resolution, 12 other LDs across the state have passed it. King County has passed it, and the state Democratic Committee has passed it. We have met with representatives from Senator Murray's and Senator Cantwell's offices on a couple of occasions, followed up with them with no action having been taken. Lots of, oh, we're sorry that you're frustrated. We're sorry that the filibuster, you know, is, we'll like look into it. Lots of we'll look into it. Oh, I'll pass along the message to the senator. And so we're very excited that you all are looking at this resolution tonight and hope that you pass it, because the more of the state that we can get to pass this resolution, the more of a message that we will send to the senators that they need to do more than just feel sorry for our frustration. So that is what I have to say.
Thank you, Camille. And thank you for attending tonight. Love to have sister LD members come visit us.
Yes, thank you for having me.
All right, and Bunny, are you, Bunny is bringing this in as the sponsor since Camille is not a member of our district.
That's correct.
Are you ready to make a motion, Bunny?
Oh, yes, I am. I would like to move that we support the resolution in support of eliminating the Senate filibuster, and that we, as it requests, that we call on Senator Murray and Cantwell to make a public statement in support of the filibuster elimination, and that a copy of this resolution go to those elected officials, Murray and Cantwell, as well as Chuck Schumer and our members of the House. And despite the fact that Murray and Cantwell have been, we're sorry about your frustration. I do believe that they will not be a problem if they will indeed vote for it with a little bit of encouragement from LDs like ours, that they will vote to eliminate the filibuster. So I'm asking that tonight we vote to adopt this resolution.
Okay, thank you.
Second.
Brad. Second?
Second. Second.
Second.
2 seconds. Sarah, I think I heard Sarah second, so Sarah, why don't you use that? Use yourself as the second. Awesome, and I think I'm gonna go so far as to say that Bunny's comments after her motion are fine comments for. Does anyone want to speak against this motion? Anyone want to speak against the motion? All right.
Art needs to mute himself.
Thank you.
All right, I've been working on that. Okay. Thank you. All right, well, I will go ahead and call the question then. All those in favor of adopting the resolution in support of eliminating the Senate filibuster, please say aye.
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 All right, great. Anyone opposed, please say nay.
Nay.
Person against? I think we have enough vote there to say that we are going to adopt this resolution. Everyone, all right. Bunny, moving on to the second resolution, which we hopefully most of you guys left have listened through the presentation we made during the pre-meeting time. This was brought to us by West Seattle resident Martin Tallarico, and it was sponsored also by co-chair Bunny Hatcher. Bunny, do you want to speak to the resolution urging Congress to enact the National Infrastructure Bank legislation?
Yes, I hope most of you were here for the presentation. It was a really excellent presentation on the National Infrastructure Bank because it explained that our nation's infrastructure is crumbling, and any projects out there are currently underfunded, that funding these would assist in our economic recovery. And further, that there were this is not a new idea, there were 4 previous institutions of this nature funded and created under Presidents George Washington, John Quincy Adams, Abe Lincoln, and FDR. And the purpose of it is to invest solely in infrastructure projects. And it would directly finance much of our nation's infrastructure while supporting new jobs, paying Davis-Bacon wages. And even might even be a focus on green jobs. There will be a separate section for that. Meanwhile, 17 state legislatures and numerous county and city governments have already passed this, and national organizations that are very varied, from High Speed Rail Association to the Latino Farmers and Ranchers, National Congress of Black Women, Federation of Federal Employees, American Sustainable Business Council, and many others have supported this. So we're being asked to endorse this, and that copies of the resolution with our endorsement be forwarded to each member of the congressional delegation and to the President of the United States, as well as our state legislature. So I am asking that we pass this resolution. And I think you've heard from the, unless Martin, would you like to speak to this a little bit? Martin Talarico?
Sure. I think it would be very important to pass this resolution, and would very much like the support of the 34th LD. I've been working with this coalition for a year now, and the more I learn, the more I'm feeling positive about it. And if we passed it tonight, the 34th LD would be the first institution in the state of Washington to endorse the NIB. So I'm looking forward to your vote. Thank you very much.
I would like to add that when we ask for the vote on this, that it will be corrected. And instead of reading HR 6422, that would be replaced with HR 3339, which is the new, the bill as it's been introduced into the House of Representatives this year. So it would be corrected to reflect that.
Great. Thank you, Bunny. Appreciate your support. Thank you.
Is there, and again, I want to say that is sufficient to assume that Bunny's words were speaking for, and I will ask if there is anyone who would like to speak against adopting this resolution, against this motion to adopt this resolution. Kate Richardson.
Yeah, I first have to say that I was a little late coming into the presentation, but it seemed clear to me that the projects that will be considered will not be viewed through the lens of the emergency we are facing in a changing climate. And we can't afford any more development that continues to aggravate the accumulation of carbon in the atmosphere. Without that lens, I certainly can't support this. Somebody could disabuse me of my feeling, but I thought the gal made it pretty clear that some things might be green and other things, well, they're just going to be what they are. Not acceptable.
Okay. Thank you, Kate. Is there anyone that would like to speak for this resolution, for this motion to adopt this resolution? Randy.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And in regards to the resolution, having had the chance to hear more about the National Infrastructure Bank with the presentation previous to this meeting tonight, I was impressed sufficiently. I do believe that there's always the opportunity for greater environmental safeguards. I want to reflect what Kate said to a degree, but what I heard was the opportunity for stronger investment in things like renewables. I just came across this evening a conglomeration of 7 studies that talk about how by 2050, 80% renewable energy for our grid is the most economical option, but that requires investment. And I think a national infrastructure bank could further that more aggressively than without it. The infrastructure deal that is on the table right now between Republicans and Democrats comes up very short in dealing with broad pieces of infrastructure, including renewable energy. I believe this would fill in many of the gaps to further that. So while I agree very much with Kate that we have to be very conscious indeed of the impact of any of these funding pieces on climate, I believe we have the opportunity to do that with this, with the opportunity for National Infrastructure Bank to go forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Randy. Okay, one more speech. Anyone wanting to speak against this motion? Looking for anyone else wanting to speak against. Okay. No one else against. Okay, I'll close the speeches. I'd like to go ahead and call the question. Everybody could, I'm gonna try a voice vote, make sure we can get through with voice vote. All those in favor of.
Aye.
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 All right.
Aye.
Thank you. Anyone opposed to adopting this resolution? Not even Kate? Okay. All right. Wonderful. All right, the second resolution passes. Thank you so much, Bunny.
Thank you.
To take us on to our last piece of business for the evening. Jordan spent the first half of the night tallying votes, and now he's going to present to you the platform that he and all of the policy caucuses have worked so hard on this year. Jordan, would you like to take the floor?
Thanks, Carla. I will start by sharing my screen. Okay, so hi everyone, I'm Jordan Crawley. If you're seeing me in speaker view, that's Carla's face with my disembodied voice. I'm the second vice chair and the chair of the Platform Legislative Action Committee. Tonight, we are considering the adoption of our 2021 platform, but first we have some recommended amendments to get. I thought I'd start off with some background because drafting and adopting a unique platform has never been done in our organization. It took many hours and a lot of motivation and dedication to arrive at what we've produced. First, in January, I launched our system of membership policy caucuses, or MPCs, and began appointing leads to help manage those. Then in February, we continued appointing leads and organizing the many other volunteers who stepped up to work with them. In March, the MPCs and I began drafting the platform and finished the rough draft by the end of April. And then the month of May was dedicated to committee review, both within the Platform and Legislative Action Committee, as well as within the Social Justice and Equity Committee. The draft then went to the board in June for review and consideration, and at our meeting last month, the executive board unanimously agreed to recommend that the membership adopt the platform, but that still doesn't absolve us from taking the step that we've been gradually taking over the next month, that of committing to a period during which members can review the draft. Working through this process has done a lot of good for our organization. We're working our way toward establishing a tangible identity for ourselves, and we've begun to forge meaningful relationships with community organizations and cooperative partnerships with other organizations within our party. For the last month, the platform was made available to all of our members, and we encouraged folks to send in recommended amendments. In that time, we received 11 recommendations, which we'll be working through tonight before we vote on the platform as a whole. First, I will read through those recommendations, and then at the end, I have a summary slide of what those changes mean for the platform's content. At that point, I will make a motion, hopefully receive a second, and we can continue as our procedures require. Once we have our set approved amendments, the plan is then to call for a motion to adopt the platform, have any debate if necessary, and then lastly, take a vote. So with that, we'll get started with the amendments. So the first amendment on our list is to the preamble. In the preamble, just for some context, Carla, Rachel, and I drafted this together and included a list of human rights. So here in blue is the current language. At the very end in green, you will see that it says add a livable future. So that was one of the recommendations, was to add a livable future to our list of human rights that we included in the preamble. The second amendment, so these are amendments 2 through 4. Each of these applied to the environment, energy, and land use pillar. The first is to add opposition to, quote, new construction with space and water heating powered by natural gas. The second is to add opposition to fossil fuel extraction. And the final to this pillar is to add opposition to new infrastructure and hookups that promote fossil fuels. Fifth amendment is to the government voting and elections pillar, adding opposition to gerrymandering for political gain. These are amendments 6 through 8, all to the healthcare and human services pillar. Again, blue is current language, green is new language. So in the first one, the current language reads securing life-saving and enhancing medication access as a human right. If the amendment were approved, that would change to securing access to medications and treatments proven to save lives and improve physical and mental health as a human right. The second current language is comprehensive care, supporting comprehensive care, including mental and behavioral health, physical health, dental, vision, nutrition services, and reproductive health. The changed language would simply add rehabilitation, substance abuse treatment, and hearing to this list of comprehensive care. And the final amendment would be adding language supporting developing new ways to provide long-term care that are affordable to patients and their families. Amendments 9 and 10 are listed here, and those are for the transportation and utilities pillar. They would add support for solar and wind installations and add support for community solar projects. And then the final amendment here is to the tribal relations and sovereignty pillar, which would move supporting invasive species management from tribal relations and sovereignty to the Environment, Energy, and Land Use Caucus. So here on this slide, these are all 11. So doubling back to this full list, Madam Chair, I would move that we adopt all of the amendments as they are listed.
This is Dawn Rains, I second.
Thank you, Dawn. I was muted, my bad. So we have a motion to approve, to include all 11 amendments as initiated by the various authors in the platform, and Dawn Rains has seconded. Is there any discussion around these amendments? Please raise your hand. I've got Donna.
Hi, thank you, Carla. I was concerned a little bit about number 7, only because the way I understand the definition of behavioral health, that would encompass substance use disorder treatment and rehabilitation. And unless someone has a different definition for the body of behavioral health, which includes mental health and substance use disorder, I don't know, it seems a little redundant to add it in again.
Okay. So I believe if we're going to, I'm gonna let this play out a little bit differently than our normal, 2 speeches for, 2 speeches against, since we have some, specific comments being made. Let's take a few moments. We've got a decent amount of time left tonight, and hear any comments. And I'm just going to consider them as comments or questions around the amendments, and then we'll backtrack and decide whether we're going to move forward with all or none. If we go with none, then we can start peeling things out of here if we want to. But I would like to give the opportunity for folks to make comments first. So let's do that. Donna, thanks for initiating the comments. All right, so that was on 7. Ann Martin.
Yeah, I was just going to suggest that you do this like a slate where you can pull one of the amendments so the others can be passed and one can be discussed.
Okay.
I think this body is pretty supportive of this. There's the concern about redundancy, but anyway, that'd just be a procedural suggestion.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is we'll treat it like a slate. So we have 11 potential amendments. If anyone raises an issue, we can pull them one at a time. So as of this point in time, so for that process, does anyone have any concern about the process of treating this like a slate and then pulling out individuals if they are problematic? I like that suggestion, Ann. Thank you.
Carla,
Okay.
can I say something? It's Julie.
Yes.
I think the reason these amendments were put in there was because people felt that they weren't explicit enough. And they wanted to make sure it covered everything. So like with number 7, I think they wanted to make sure that was in there so that it was covered and nothing was left to a question.
Okay.
And how someone else interpreted it.
So that's a discussion for potentially leaving that.
Yes.
Okay, well, let's.
So that was the whole purpose of the amendments was, in my understanding, to make sure it covered everything and there wasn't anything left open for question. To be explicit and redundant.
Okay.
Okay, that's my 2 cents.
All right, so as of right now, we're going to pull 7 off the slate of amendments. Is there anyone else that would like to pull any of the other 10?
Well, I'm sorry, Carla, shouldn't we do a vote to accept them all? And then if there's a not, then we pull what is in question?
No, we're gonna, as Anne suggested, we're going to treat them as a slate. When we bring a slate in, if any member has any issue with any of them, they can be pulled without a vote.
May I offer a suggestion, Carla?
Sure.
I like number 7. The difficulty that I'm having is just the way it's worded. And I would not have any objection to just leaving this in the hands of the team that put it together and sort of clarifying that as just making that sentence just a little bit more clear, even if it appears to be redundant. I think what you could say is behavioral health, including substance use disorder treatment, mental health treatment, rehabilitation, all of those things. So I would just leave that in the hands of the group that put it together. And I think it would be a little clearer if they just rearranged that sentence. And beyond that, I just raised it because it appears redundant in the way it's written. So, but otherwise, I think we should, the option of doing the entire list should still be available if we just leave it in their hands.
Jordan, how do you feel about that? You would be taking that forward?
My only concern with that is really what the goal is here is to have membership approval on a complete draft of the platform. So if we were to take this back to our committee, then it would have to be revised and then brought back to the membership just to approve that one clause. My hesitance comes from my belief that it's supposed to be member driven, not Jordan driven. So I can write anything, but these decisions are supposed to be collective. So if people feel that we should move that direction, then we can move that direction, but I would really rather not put this off for another month.
Agreed.
For a sentence.
Nancy, I think you have a suggestion on how you might rephrase this.
Well, I actually like having the specificity in there, but and Donna said it a couple times, using the phrasing substance use disorder treatment instead of substance abuse treatment. That would be my suggestion, is just to change that part. I actually like having the specificity though.
Okay. Donna, how do you feel about that?
I agree. I think I like this. I like the specificity too. I just think you don't need to say it twice. And so just making it clearer helps to have that, because folks are going to look at behavioral health. They're going to think mental health. You got mental health and behavioral health, and then you've got substance use disorder. So just a restructuring of that sentence would help. And I do it right now, except I'm doing something else at the same time. So I'm sorry, but I think we could easily just rearrange it. So
I'd love to have a suggestion. And again, just to recap what Jordan's saying is, if we don't settle on the exact words tonight, then we have to come back. So we're trying to avoid, Jordan, we lost your screen.
Oh. Yeah, that was intentional. I'm going and pulling that sentence out since it seems to be a problem, and I'm going to pull the current language and then have that so I can rewrite it live so that we can settle on that. But I
Got it.
think moving forward with Anne's suggestion of if there's no further issues, we can go ahead and vote on the rest of these amendments. And by that time, I'll be ready for number 7.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and hear the other two folks that have their hands raised, and we'll see if we truly are ready. Lane, how about you next?
I was just going to affirm that idea that it sounds like to ease the process, and suggestion is easier. We can take care of this tonight, and it sounds pretty simple to do. So I agree with what Jordan's saying and Anne's saying.
Okay, thank you. And Dawn.
I was just going to make a motion for some specific language to cut to the chase, but we'll wait until Jordan's ready to do that.
Okay. Does anyone have anything else? I know we've lost the visual. Did anyone have any other issues with the other 11 amendments?
This is Art.
Okay.
And I want to make a suggestion. First, that maybe we take these in order and ask if there are suggestions one by one, and that we listen to those. We take a vote on whatever the suggestion is, either up or down, and then we just move on all the way through the list that way. It would eliminate a lot of, it'll eliminate Jordan having to do anything else on the back end of this thing. And
Well, I don't have any other hands, so we may not have any other issues.
well, I have one.
Okay.
It's not really, and it's not really an issue. Let me go back to that screen. Do we have Jordan's screen? I don't remember which number it is.
I think we'll have to wait. For him to wait.
Okay.
There we go.
And it's number 5. I would just like to add something to clarify gerrymandering for political gain. Gerrymandering is always done for political gain, and the question.
Art, we've lost you. We have no Art. All right.
That's my suggestion.
Oh, well, we didn't hear we didn't hear any of that.
Okay.
Gerrymandering is always for political gain.
Yeah, okay. What I said was, we oppose gerrymandering, which is, I'm sorry, I lost my screen here. Disappeared from me. Which divides communities. We oppose gerrymandering, which divides communities. Otherwise, it's hard to tell whether or not it's done for.
All right, so we've got changes on Amendment 5 and Amendment 7.
Did you get that?
No. You faded out again.
Interesting. I'll put it in the chat.
Gerrymandering, which divides political communities is what, I'm sorry, which divides communities is what you left us with. Is there something?
That's right.
Okay.
Are you, I think are you speaking geographically, I hope, when you, like, if they suddenly split Vashon between 2 districts, because gerrymandering is always divisive, but should you say that splits geographic communities?
It would have to be, yeah, it has to be geographic. That's how it's set up. But does it divide a community? For instance, do you take a Black community and divide that community? Or do you take any other minority or democratic stronghold and allow that to be divided?
Yeah, slice that in half, yeah.
So as long as it doesn't divide communities, I think, you know, gerrymandering is just It's just redistricting.
Can I get everybody to go on mute that's not speaking? All right, so we've got two that are going to come out. I'm going to go next to Hannah.
I just wanted to voice that it is a little bit confusing to me, and potentially others. I can't tell if we're getting into the specifics of people's concerns on each amendment, or if folks were just supposed to say which numbers they had issues with. I've just been watching the clock and noticing that I have to leave exactly at 9. And so it'd be easier if we could, get those specific numbers potentially pulled. Then those of us who do have time commitments can hopefully have our votes counted. And if we have to step out and not be present for 1 or 2, I think that is better for the whole of the group. So. Also, Carla, you're muted.
I am mute. You're right. Thank you. What I want to happen now, and when I call on you, please give me a short answer. I only want to hear from people who want to remove an amendment. So we've already decided we're changing / removing 5 and 7. Are there any other, is there anyone else who has the desire to remove or change any of these amendments? Because what I want to do is then I want to vote on the slate. So we've pulled 5 and 7. We would now be voting on the remainder of the slate. Is that clear? Anybody have any other changes? Okay, let's do this. Does anybody have any speech or debate on the slate that remains? Okay. Anybody have anything to say about that? For or against? So let's vote on the slate.
I would move that we adopt the slate with the removal of 5 and 7.
Thank you, Bunny. Can I get a second?
Second.
This is Hannah Cameron, and I second.
Okay, let's go with Hannah Cameron as a second. And Bunny Hatcher for the motion. All those in favor of adopting, now this is just about the amendments, of adopting all 11 with the exception of 7 and 5, please say aye.
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 All right, anyone to adopting all of the amendments into the platform with the exception of 5 and 7, please say nay. Okay, ayes have it. Now we're down to the last, to the 5 and 7.
So I have them on this slide. You should all be able to see my screen. On the left is the current language. On the right is what I've heard so far from people, what they would like to see. The only difference between these top 2 for comprehensive care is this here. And obviously this is different. So if someone has recommendations for language for either of these 2 for an entirely new language, I think we should hear that now.
Anne.
Yes, it sounds to me as if, speaking to the 5th amendment, which is the gerrymandering amendment, it sounds to me as if people feel that saying for political gain, or even saying that divides community, why don't we just say we oppose gerrymandering, which includes all the things like dividing communities for political gain and such. So my recommendation would be to simplify it to say we oppose gerrymandering, period. Because if we say a specific thing, then it sounds, well, like for us. So anyway, that would be my motion, I guess, if that's the proper term.
Mike Parker seconds that motion.
I agree.
Okay, that one sounds like a good one. Let's, okay, so Jordan is writing this out. So we're basically going to truncate it to just say opposed gerrymandering. Period. Okay, I like it. Good collaboration. All right, any further discussion on this particular gerrymandering number 5 amendment?
Can I just confirm right quick that Ann Martin proposed and Michael Parker seconded this particular motion?
Yes, you got it.
Thank you.
All right. Any discussion? Last call. I see Ann Martin's hand up, but I'm assuming you just didn't lower, Ann. Ann, do you need to speak again? To keep popping back up. Got it. All right, let's do this. All those in favor of adding, let's see, so this will be an amendment to oppose gerrymandering into the platform, please say aye.
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 Aye. Anyone opposed, please say nay. All right, fantastic. That one's in. Now, the final one, which is number 7. All right, counting down. We can do this, guys. Okay. I have Sarah. Also.
Hi, I would like to advocate for the treatment and recovery support for substance use disorders. I'm working on this from a collegiate recovery perspective at a local community college, and that's part of it is not just a short-term treatment program, but ongoing recovery supports to include supporting folks as they are, getting jobs and participating in community and the times that their recovery is tested.
Good amendment. Jordan's got that there. Digest that for a moment. Thank you, Sarah.
Just point of clarification. I think it's recovery support and not supports. Am I correct on that, Sarah?
Correct.
Okay, yeah, so just support singular, Jordan. Yeah.
Thanks.
And Dawn.
I'd like to make a motion that the language be as follows: comprehensive care, including, and Jordan, I'll put this in the chat so you can just have it all. Comprehensive care, including physical, mental, dental, vision, reproductive, and behavioral health, including treatment and recovery support for substance use disorder.
So you're just reorganizing this sentence, correct? Okay.
I think she added physical.
No, physical's on there.
Yep, physical health.
Reproductive.
Reproductive's on there too.
Reproductive health is also on there.
Yes, yes, yes.
It's too small to read.
Yep, so this looks like a reorganization. So anyone else have, thank you, Dawn, that was a good call. Anyone else have any
No.
on this one? Michael, did you say something?
I said I would second that revision.
Oh, to the reorganization. Okay, got it.
She proposed it, so I seconded it.
Okay, so again, this one is motion made by Dawn Rains, seconded by Michael Parker. Any other? Okay, I see no more hands. Any other discussion on this one? Oh, look at that. Okay, let's do it. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 All right, anyone opposed, please say nay. Jordan is moving on. All right, we've got it. Okay, so we did a slate, we did a gerrymandering, and we did this number 7 healthcare oriented. That is all now in the platform. All amendments in, all 11, just slightly different on 2. Can I get a motion for the full platform? Or
This is Hannah Cameron, and I motion to adopt the whole platform.
awesome, Hannah.
Second.
Who was the second?
I was Bunny.
Bunny. All right. Now we are voting on the full platform with 11 amendments. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 All right, anyone opposed, please say nay.
Nay.
Deborah Alderman says nay, that's only 1. I believe the ayes still have it. Jordan, thank you. Anyone else on the call here tonight that is an MPC member, thank you for the work that you've done. We now have a platform. I'm very, very excited about this. Good of the order. That is our last piece of business. Does anybody have any quick announcements? No announcements. Keep an eye out for your candidates, your favorite candidates events. I try to post them on Facebook. Join our Slack channel where we post them in there as well. Lots of work to be done. Please, everyone, take part in this primary. Thank you very much for coming tonight and have a good evening. We are adjourned.
Carla, I was trying to get there and I couldn't.
Okay.
Actually, I did want to mention that on July 31st, the commission will have a redistricting discussion for the 7th and 9th congressional districts. So if people are available, they should register for that.
And what was that? Did you say what commission? Sorry.
The redistricting commission.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Got it. Got it. All right. Thank you. Anyone else for good of the order? All right. Well, thanks everyone. Please come by and see us on Saturday. There'll be free donuts. Please come by and see us. Come pick up your walk materials, do your walking, do your PCO duties. It's that time of year, the fun begins. Thank you, everyone. Have a great night.
Good night.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you.
Night, Good job, Carla.
Thank you. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good job.
Good night, all. Nice meeting. Good job.
Thank you.